Hello again, beautiful artists, and welcome back to another episode of Paint Along with Skye. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Skye and I post beginning level acrylic painting tutorials here on YouTube every Saturday. So make sure to hit subscribe so you can join the fun and paint along, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. Alright, so we are still midsummer here and I've got vacation on the brain. And I wanted to do a fun painting today of that, capturing that moment where you're looking out the plane window and you see a little shadow of your own plane on the clouds below. And this is going to be really simple painting, and I think pretty quick too, because we're only just going to be using for the background blue and white. I have an ultramarine blue here today, and then later we'll do our silhouette as well. I have my 4 standard brushes that I use in most classes. This is a kit that comes with a large square wash brush, a medium-sized pointed brush, and 2 small detail brushes. I'm going to get those in the water cup off the side of the screen here. If you'd like to see a full materials list of everything that I use and I recommend, check the description box below. It'll bring you to a materials page on my website and break it all down for you. All right, let's go ahead and jump on in. So we're gonna start really simple today, and we're just gonna mix up a sky blue and start by filling in our whole canvas with this blue color. Okay, so plenty of paint. Plenty of space here on my palette paper, and I added a little bit of water into the paint, mixed it up so that it's nice and smooth. Beautiful, very satisfying color today. Love me some ultramarine. Definitely one of my favorite shades. Okay. And we're just going back and forth here with long horizontal brush strokes, getting the canvas fully saturated with the paint, having the paint soak into the canvas texture. Right, and just working my way down here, all the same color, no gradation needed. Really simple one today, but I just couldn't get it out of my head. I just love that feeling, but it's also scary when you're up in the sky in a plane and you see the little shadow above the clouds as you're soaring on top of the clouds. I love traveling, absolutely adore it, and I've probably been on about a dozen flights in my time, and they scare me every time. It feels like it shouldn't even be possible. I'm putting a lot of trust in that engineering crew, but I still love it. Sometimes, you know, you gotta seek out a little discomfort in your life. Do things that are challenging. All right, and just fill that in there in the center. Pretty one tone today. I got a little bit of streakiness in it. We actually want it to be more of a one solid blue color. Fairly even. I think I need just a little bit more color saturation here in the middle. All right. One solid blue canvas. Making sure those brush strokes go all the way off the edge. So you have a tendency to sort of pool a little bit there on the edges. All right, and we still have white here. I'm gonna pull them out. So I'm gonna rinse my brush and I'm going to do some wet on wet clouds, but we're going to be using this white here in the blue, and it's going to blend to like a lighter blue. and then we'll come back later and add even our brightest white. So we're just going for about that color here. And I just kind of want to scribble my way across here and create my first little cloud shape. And I want to fill in most of this composition here with clouds so that we get a nice place to put our silhouette later. And this is sort of the first time to block out the main spaces where our clouds are going to be. Kind of scribbling my way across here and getting a little bit of that blending going. All right, I'm just going to build the color up from here now. I'll grab my smaller brush, medium brush, and I'm going to do a smaller scribble now and start to find some peaks in my clouds. Works almost like a layered little mountain range. Each of these are going to have these multiple little layers here. And then also just kind of some messiness here and there. Take your time with this step because this is our whole main part of painting today. Okay, so we see now we're getting some layers, getting that feeling of depth. It's sort of in between a tap and a scribble. My brush stroke here. And I'm already sort of running out of white. But I think I might have almost enough. Kind of close. And then we're gonna wanna let this layer dry and come back. We're gonna do kind of more of the same with a brighter white. Yeah, I think we're pretty blue. So let's let this layer dry and we'll come back and add the next layer. We'll make everything really pop and then we'll of course add our little plain shadow. I'll see everyone in a few. Okay, welcome back artists. We have a dry background here and then just some black and white here on my palette paper. I rinsed my brushes and got some fresh water at break as well. Let's go ahead and jump right back on into it. I'm going to grab a little bit of water and here with my medium-sized brush in my white, I'm going to start doing a little bit more fine scribbling here and build out my little cloud banks. All right, this is going to give another texture here with our different size brush and the clean white. And just kind of tap into some areas for some nice peaks for our little cloud mountain range. And so you can see with these two how I've started to sort of build the depth. I'm just kind of going with these first scribblies that I created and then just sort of finessing my shapes and getting that second brush stroke. texture on there, okay? And I'm gonna work my way all the way around. What I might even do is flip my canvas upside down so that since I'm right-handed, I can work very easily. And I don't have to reach to this corner. A little bit more highlights there. Looking pretty cute. And again, taking our time because this is all we have to do today for our painting, really, besides the silhouette, of course. But we're keeping it simple today. I would love to see your work if you are painting along today or anytime. And I have a Facebook group called the Art Club where you can join us and post your work, whether it be from painting along with me or from your own studio or imagination. We would love to have you join us over there. It is truly the best part of my day to see what everyone comes up with. I've got a great and supportive community over there, and it's free to join. There's a link in the description box below that will take you to it, the Art Club, and I also put it in the comments, pinned in the comments for you guys as well. So hopefully it should be pretty easy to find, and I want to see it. Show me your paintings. Okay, and I'm almost here, finished with these bottom clouds. I'm liking the way that they're looking. Glad we did that wet on wet blending. And we can also have a few little sort of wispy bits here and there. Maybe we'll have some wispiness over here too. Maybe some right there. That one got a little carried away. And you can really have fun here with lots of scribbling and tapping that color in. Try not to create too much of a pattern with your brush strokes. You want to keep things really natural and loose. I think I'm going to flip my canvas over and work on my other side now. All right, just making it a little easier on myself. And a little bit of water again, so it's nice and easy to move around. And really, this could be right side up for us if we would prefer. Or we could flip it back around. When we're adding our silhouette, but I guess even the silhouette, because it's, you know, doesn't matter what your orientation is. It would look good hanging on the wall any which way. All right, and it's like a reverse little mountain range here. Two cloud sections meeting each other there in the middle. Scribbling down. It's almost like a dry brush technique here. Oh, it is a dry brush technique, I guess. Some nice little puffiness here and there. Looking good. Tapping and scribbling. getting that all finessed everywhere we want before adding our silhouette, which will be our piece de la resistance, if you will. Final touch. All right, and a good tip with steps like this too, if you need to, just take a step back from your painting and see how things are looking. Since it's so similar, it's consistent all throughout, it can get a little hard to focus. But I like the way that's looking. Adding a little bit to the top here now that I have this upside down orientation. It's interesting. Make sure that my clouds go off the edge here. I think that's looking pretty good though. Kind of like to have a little bit of that peekaboo blue sky. Soften that area a little bit. All right, then we have to decide where we want our plane. I think I'm gonna go like right here. So you wanna make sure that you have a nice little section here of what would be cloud and that you're not doing it right on the little peekaboo sky portion. Okay, and you can use either brush, either of your small brushes for this. I'm gonna use my very smallest one though. And we definitely want to start really small with this shape since it is a shadow that's cast down here on these clouds from above. In my mind, it's pretty small. And just like a little glimpse that we caught here on the cloud. I'm gonna start with a straight line. And then I'm going to pretty much in the center here, a little bit further up. I'm gonna do some diagonal lines that come out. These are gonna be our front of our wings. Okay, we're kind of building this shape now around that little starter shape. So I'm gonna bring it out a little bit further in the front there. And then I'm going to create a triangle shape, but the whole wing is still a little bit slanted rather than it being a perfect triangle. Okay, a little bit of a slant, very important aerodynamics. And then here the front is going to be the nose of the plane, which is going to taper, but not quite as harshly as just the line. Just the nose for the pilots. And then we flatten out a little bit for the main cabin. Okay. Not too shabby. And then this is going to be the tail of the plane, of course. Tapering off gently as well. It's good to start small because you can always thicken things up a bit. Much harder to make things smaller again. Okay, and I'm sort of making sure that my wings are about the same length, of course. But it's okay, it's a little imperfect too. It's kind of a tricky shape. Okay, and then here at the tail, I'm gonna do two lines coming out like so. And then these are gonna have actually flat little lines and then it'll connect to the tail like that. Really tiny. So that's like flat compared to the end of the tail there, and then parallel. Okay, I'm gonna bring the tail a little bit further out. That looks pretty good. And then of course, gotta have our dual engines. Like this on either side. And then a second one. Pretty cute. Just trying to get it as even as I can, but it's really can be challenging with such a small shape because it often just gets bigger and bigger as you try to make things as nice as you can. All right, so with that being said, we should probably step away and call it good. Just want to make sure the tail is looking fairly good, but I think that's pretty cute. Let me know what you thought of today's painting in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to join us over in the art club. I can't wait to see everyone's work. And that is all the instruction that I have for everyone this week. So thank you so much for painting along. And until next time, stay creative.